welcome to the channel. I'm done for the day, man. Got my truck over there, as you can see, and I'm at the hotel. Had a pretty good day. Shout out to my guy. We have somebody down here for support from a different location. He was going around kind of helping out drivers this morning and throughout the day. I think I was the first person he helped out, so shout out to him. Pretty good day, man. Pretty good day, can't complain. And now we here. I'm making this video for y'all. So I want to talk about something today, man. In light of just looking at the economy and where we are, and inflation, and how cost of goods is so expensive. It's nothing to go in a grocery store nowadays and spend $100 and you're only getting a few items, right? It's crazy. And a lot of people are struggling. We know the numbers. I talk about some of the statistics on my channel. So a lot of Americans are struggling in the financial department. So it just brings me to making this video. Particularly, I want to talk about owner-operators and ownership, right? I've expressed in a few videos that I personally don't have any interest in becoming an owner-operator, right? You know, with my job, I'm definitely not going to say I love my job, right? But I don't hate it. I also like, I get paid well. I like having a retirement. I like having benefits, although my wife and I have benefits through her company because they're cheaper and a lot better than the benefits we have over here. No shade to GFS, shout out to GFS. I had our benefits for, you know, about 3 years, and then my wife was like, nah, babe, you coming on my insurance. It's a lot better and it's cheaper. So me and my wife, you know, been under Blue Cross Blue Shield for the past 2 years now. I've been basically on her policy. So now, you know, we're all on hers, and it's definitely a good policy. But I digress. Let's talk about this ownership, bro. And by the way, speaking of that, having a good partner that's like-minded is also a great way to help you level up in life and in your finances, even business endeavors. If you guys are both on the same page, y'all have the same kind of goals in mind regarding finances and where you guys want to be, having a partner, you definitely can level up that way, man. But ownership, man. Like I mentioned, I don't have any interest on becoming an owner-operator, and I have my reasons. Trucking just isn't my passion, right? I don't love trucking. I like it a lot, right? I like the fact that I don't have someone over my back micromanaging me. I love the solitude that comes with being a truck driver. It's just you in a truck by yourself for the most part, unless you're running teams or something along those lines. But to me, it's a lot of freedom that comes with trucking that you just don't have at a 9 to 5, or at least a lot of 9 to 5s. There are some 9 to 5s where, you know, you can work remote, you can work at your house and stuff like that. So There are some 9 to 5s that have that flexibility, so it's not all of them, but it's really stress-free, man. My job, when it comes to management in particular, it's really stress-free. Our managers aren't down our throats. Pause. They're not calling us every 5 seconds trying to figure out where we are or anything like that. It's we just get our work done and go home. So I love that. You guys know, if you've been following the channel, I work about 45 hours a week on average, 5-day work week, paid weekly, weekends off. The schedule is fantastic, man. I can't complain about the schedule. I can't complain about my workload. A lot of people, you know, have it worse than I do, but in this particular line of work, man, you know, I see other food service content creators that make, you know, some good content, and they're knocking out cases, bro. I was watching a US Foods driver earlier today. Shout out to him. It's not my guy Tay. Shout out to Tay. But I think it's one of his co-workers, kind of big dude, doing his thing out there, crushing it. Shout out to him, man. I'm gonna have to share your channel on my page. I can't remember the name of his channel, but shout out to him, man. He doing his thing over there at US Foods. But he's crushing it, bro. So this is no knock on owner operators, bro. If you want to become an owner operator, go for it. Do your thing. Do your thing, bro. This is not a video to discourage any owner operators. The purpose of this video is just to say that you can have ownership without being an owner operator. And let me explain what I mean by that. So I'm all for ownership. Ownership is phenomenal, right? I'm also for entrepreneurship, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But one thing that I always try to tell you guys, this is a message that I'm pretty consistent about, and I want you guys to understand that in this economy and the way the world is going right now, if you're mentally and physically able to make money, you should be trying to make as much money as you possibly can. I'm just being honest, right? In addition to that, I personally think you should have multiple sources of income, not just income from your job. Now, if that's the only source of income that you have, good, because look, some people don't even have that income coming in. Be thankful for that. But if you're able-bodied, if you can physically and mentally work, if you can physically and mentally find a way to make money, man, I encourage everybody to make as much money as you possibly can. We just don't know from day to day what type of news is gonna come out about the economy. You see people getting laid off left and right from jobs out there, particularly in the trucking industry. Other jobs as well, you know. In the tech industry, we know they have a lot of layoffs every year. But you just never know, man. And so that's my mindset. So let's talk about this ownership piece real quick. So investing in the stock market is one of the easiest and most conservative ways that you can have ownership. You know, it's great owning a trucking company, right? As an owner operator, it's great owning your own business. Nothing wrong with that. But guess what? As an investor in the stock market, you can also own businesses. You can own a percentage of a business as a shareholder, right? How cool is it to say I own a percentage of a company? That's what you get when you invest in stocks. You own a percentage of a company. What's even better is that company, if you're investing in a stock, I pretty much prefer ETFs. But if you're investing in a stock that pays a dividend, that means that company that you're invested in will pay you as a shareholder to own that stock, right? So that's one way that you can make money off that investment, through dividend payments. Let's talk about another way that you can make money off that investment. Price appreciation. What does that mean? That means the value of that asset or that stock that you're investing in goes up. When it goes up, you make money, right? That's the second way that you can make money off that investment. Now let's talk about the third way, and my favorite way, compound interest. Meaning the longer you invest and hold that asset over time, you're gonna benefit from compound interest. So just to summarize everything that I just told you. Number one, you have ownership in a company. If you invest in, let's say, an ETF, let's just say VOO, for example, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF makes up 500 companies in one ETF or asset. That's automatic diversification. Meaning if you only wanted to invest in that one stock, you already have a diversified portfolio. Diversification in your portfolio is important as well to help mitigate some of your risks. That's why it's a good idea. This is not financial advice. It's a good idea to diversify your portfolio to spread out your risk. So the great thing about investing in ETFs like VOO is that if one company inside of that stock goes down in value, you have other companies, right? You have a total of 500. So if you have a few companies that maybe drops in value, you have many other companies that may be up, right? So that's gonna help mitigate your risk. But that's the beautiful thing about investing. So again, you have ownership in actual companies. You're making money by holding the asset, and you're building your overall net worth. You're making money while you sleep. One of my favorite things to do, one of the best feelings, is pulling out my phone, opening up my brokerage account, and seeing my portfolio increase in value. Seeing my net worth increase, right? When you wake up and you notice that you've made money while you've been sleeping, How good of a feeling is that, man? To anybody that invests in the stock market, you guys can relate to what I'm talking about. There are a variety of different ways to make money in the stock market. You got options trading. You can day trade. You can do a lot of different things, right? You can make money while the stock is going up in value, and you can also make money while the stock is going down. So it's a lot of ways to make money in the stock market. But what I'm talking about is a very conservative way. It's for people who want to create wealth over time. It's not anything that you're gonna get rich quick on. But if you do it long enough and you continue to invest more and more, you're gonna make more money over time. And it's passive income, particularly if you invest in dividend paying stocks, which means the company is gonna pay you as the shareholder either monthly, quarterly, or annually, depending on how they pay out. And the more money you invest, the more or the higher those dividend payments are gonna be. So again, I love ownership, man. Those are some ways that I continue to grow my overall net worth. The stock market. So my trucking money, a large percentage of my money goes to the stock market. Another way I make money is obviously through YouTube. Made 5 figures last year. We're gonna make 5 figures this year, and we're on pace to do more than we did last year. Thank God for it. I thank God for you guys and all my supporters out there. It wouldn't be possible without you. But all of that money is just extra income. And what do? I put that money to work. I put it to work. I don't want to have that money just stacking it up in my savings account, in a traditional savings account. Let me make that distinction. I do put a lot of money that I make through YouTube in a savings account. It's just not a traditional savings account. It's a high yield savings account where I'm getting a 5% APY on my money, right? I love that as well. You can't make a few $100s from interest every year by keeping your money in a traditional savings account. What are they paying? 0.1% maybe? At the end of the year, you probably got, you know, a few pennies. High yield savings account is another way. It's another tool that I use to help grow my net worth. I'm all about trying to put my money to work, so I don't physically have to be out here and work for a company or for anybody else for the rest of my life, right? And the reality is, if you're not doing the same thing as far as trying to put your money to work and trying to continue to grow your overall net worth, you may be in a position to where you have to work when you reach a certain age, right? I don't think people want to have to work, if you know, particularly when you get older. You want to be able to have a choice. There are a lot of people up in age, you know, in their 70s, 80s, that have to work, right? But then you have those that they have a choice, and a lot of them want to work for whatever reason. A lot of them just want to stay active. A lot of people get bored at home when they're in retirement, so people just like to stay busy. So you want to be in that position to where you have a choice. If you want to work, cool. If you don't, you're still going to be able to survive and take care of yourself, right? So that's the position you want to be in. What's up, bro? So for me, man, it's all about financial freedom. And that could look different for anybody. You don't have to be rich to attain financial freedom. At least not from my point of view. Financial freedom for me means being able to do the things I want to do without money being an issue. Being able to still live the lifestyle that I want to live without money being an issue. And I don't have to be rich in order to accomplish that goal. But I do still have work to do. I'm young. I'm 42. I'll be 43 this year. So I'm grinding, bro. Making sure I put my money in the right places. But that's why I wanted to make this video, man. Making money is cool, but what's even cooler is when your money is making you money. That's even better to me. Making money in my sleep is even better to me. And that's what it's all about, man. There are some things that I'm working on now outside of trucking. Some other endeavors that I have, some ideas. And I'm excited about it, man. So I'm not gonna say anything about it right now. I'll talk about it a little bit later once I start putting some stuff together. But that's what it's about for me, man. I'm not getting any younger. So I gotta get it while the getting is good, man. Taking advantage of opportunities. Just not being content with just one source of income. Not me. I don't care what type of job I'm doing, W-2 job, if I'm still working for somebody, right? I'm still gonna figure out ways that I can bring some additional income in addition to that primary income. Entrepreneurship, again, nothing against entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is great. I plan on starting a business as well. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna just up and quit my job right away, or up and quit and just stop working. Unless I get to a point to where my business, the income that I'm making from my business can sustain my lifestyle, right? For me, man, it's gotta make sense. I'm strategic with my moves. I'm not the type of person that's just gonna hop and do something without doing my due diligence, without doing my research, and without proper planning, man. I don't care about the titles. I don't care about, you know, calling myself an entrepreneur or anything like that. For me, it's gotta make sense. And I'm not starting a business if I don't have my ducks in a row. Some people just want to jump out there and they don't have a plan, they don't have any structure, and you wonder why they fail. I'm patient, right? I'm not in a hurry. I'm patient. But that's just my mindset when it comes to starting a business. Again, my main focus and priority is on making money. And I don't have to start a business or have my own business in order to do that. As long as I got this up here, I can make money. And now, having the internet and the information that we have access to, all of us, anybody can make money. That's not an issue. But when you make the money, what are you going to do with it? That's the most important thing. Doing the right things with the money that you make. And so that's what my mindset is at, man. Another thing, one of my wife's and I's biggest asset is obviously our house. That's another one, right? Home ownership is another way that you can really increase your overall net worth. My wife and I bought our house in 2022 for $220,000. We had a really great interest rate, and it's something that my wife would never let me forget, right? Our interest rate was 3.5%, but initially we had the opportunity to lock in a 2.5% interest rate, and we didn't get it because of me, and she always reminds me about that. Right? So what happened was, when we got our house built, they told us, like, look, you guys qualify for a 2.5% interest rate, but you have a window to take advantage of this opportunity. So at the time, I was just being real indecisive about buying the house, and I just wasn't sure if I wanted to buy that particular house. And so I took too long to make my decision, and the window to have that 2.5% interest rate closed. So later on, when I finally came to the conclusion that I wanted to get the house, we couldn't get the 2.5%, so we still got the 3.5%, which is still great, definitely compared to what it is now, like 7%, right? So we still got a pretty good interest rate. But we purchased our house for $220,000. The house is now valued at $320,000. We got about $100,000 in equity in the house, which is phenomenal. I mean, that return on investment is fantastic, right? Phenomenal return in 2 years. So there's a lot of benefits to owning a home. So we could sell our house, take advantage of the equity, and use that money to start a business, to pay off debt. We could do a lot, right? But we had a conversation, it's like, okay, if we sell the house, then what, right? We go out and buy another house. Now we're going to be paying more money for the house because the interest rates are higher. This is also a buyer's, or a seller's market. That's why a lot of people now are overpaying for houses. And then you look at the fact that it's more demand than supply. A lot of people want to buy a house, but there's not a lot of houses available, which is why people are overpaying and getting in bidding wars. And really the only people that's benefiting is the homeowner, the person that's selling the property, right? So for us, yeah, we could really make a lot of money if we were to sell our house, but does it make sense? Nah, not really. Not for us, not right now. We'll rather keep our house, and if anything, we could turn it into a rental property if we wanted to, or Airbnb or anything like that, right? But when you look at the cost of apartments right now, those are sky high. $2,000 a month for rent. That's more than what we pay for our mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make good financial sense to sell the house at this current time. Not for us. Now, our next door neighbor sold their house about 6 or 7 months ago, and we have the exact same floor plan. They made about a $90,000 profit off the sale. So for us, we looked at that and was like, well, you know, that's a good comp. For those of you that know real estate lingo terminology, a comp is just a property that realtors compare your house to, right? It has similar specs. It's just a way to determine what you can get for your house, right? But that's definitely a good comp. But all around our area where we live, there's a lot of new construction. We live in a really good area, and the property values are just increasing. And so we love that. So yeah, man, we're not in a hurry to sell the property right now, to sell our house. Again, it's a great investment. Home ownership is great. That's what it's all about, man. It's just really about getting the knowledge and figuring out different ways that you can increase your overall net worth, man. So you're not out here struggling. So you're not out here living paycheck to paycheck. You know, learn how to manage your money, not picking up a lot of debt, practicing delayed gratification, and understanding that, you know, you don't always need the shiny object right then and there. You can wait, you can be patient, all of that stuff, man. As you get older, you realize what's really important, and you prioritize the important things. So, you know, I wish I knew what I knew now when I was younger, but I'm glad that I know what I know at this current time, so I don't make some of those mistakes that I would have made when I was younger, because again, I still have time. So for those of you that are watching that are younger than me, be smart with your money, man. Some people say we are in a recession right now. Some people predict that, you know, it's gonna get worse economically. So it's just things you got to think about and things you got to consider, man. You can't just be living for like right now. I mean, you can, but you may have some regrets later on down the line. So you just got to be smart. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. Again, you don't have to be an owner operator to have ownership. Be smart with your money, man. All right, look, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I'm gonna holler at you guys on the next one, man. Y'all take care. Peace.